A lot of times I ask students to go, or actually I do it myself. I'll just bring up an old version. I haven't done it, but I think you should take a look at your first and second iterations with your most recent, and you can. It's to me, it's just fascinating watching students grow typographically. It really is. So really, really, this is just good, coming together really solid, and you should be proud. I am. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, cover looks good. Okay, this page here, this is setting up the whole kind of headline thing. But one thing that I've noticed is your headline is treated differently on every page. Okay, here you've got the baseline. Here you're using stacked with some emphasis on one word. Here you're using two lines. Here you're back to one line, and then over here you're back to one line again. So and plus it's jumping around. Okay, but that part I get. The part that's jumping around, that using the different type for every single instance of the headline, to me, I don't get that. Um, you've got the biggest problem right now in your presentation is believe it or not, it's your type. And it's your settings because you've got these enormous spaces right here. And the person who's sitting in front of you getting ready to hire you is going to look at your typography. They're going to turn to this page. The first thing a trained eye is going to see are these big, huge gaps right here. And right here and here and here. And we can see them everywhere. Here, 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 here. Okay, and then in order to fit type, justified and justified settings do something weird. And it squishes type in some lines in order to get more room in other lines. For example, look at the leading on this line right here. It's almost, those letters are touching each other. And then compare that to, let's say, the leading over here, where the words are just so far from each other, or here, or even here. You see what I'm saying? Look how far the words are from each other here, and then look at over here, they're touching, okay? And that's why I'm just not a fan of using justified type without really getting in there and getting it dialed in. I think I gave you some settings to use. I would use them. I highly recommend fixing that because, as I said, the first thing, at first glance, it looks great. If we go like this, well, actually, a trained eye is still going to see that. But as we look through the page mechanics, we say, okay, this is pretty good. I have something I can definitely sink into. Okay, then you get to the type and you start seeing those big gaps. So I think that's a pretty big issue. That and the inconsistency of the headlines. I see what you're doing with the headline, but it almost makes it appear as though the headline is left aligned. And I think that's pretty cool. And putting that box in alignment with the left paragraph is really an interesting way. But see, here again is another inconsistency because that one's not in alignment. This one is, well, that one's just kind of floating off somewhere. I want to talk about that in a second anyway. So, okay, so consistency. This page here, I think the biggest issue with this page right here is the fact that you're asking you're asking the viewer to, and we see that again in another page back here. And actually, I'll use that page as the example because I think I've already talked about this. The problem with putting a headline, the word is proximity, and you want to place your headline in reasonable proximity to where the body copy starts. Otherwise, there's just too much of a jump. And as we know from what we've studied, and the science of page mechanics is that you don't want this kind of a jump. You want little jumps. Okay, that's why headlines are usually placed right above the body copy. So you can go read that and then just go right there. Okay, these big long jumps like this, they create, well, technically they create a frown. They create a frown. It's a muscle that the face uses. And when we're confronted with typography that confuses us, it creates this little frown, and that frown and this has actually been proven, that frown creates a discomfort. So that's something to really, really keep in mind. So, and that frown is caused by big, long jumps in the page. If you want, I can share that research with you. I've got it bookmarked somewhere. Really interesting stuff. Okay, but anyway, so really think about the proximity between the headline and the where the type starts. And then this, like for instance, this looks pretty good, the way that you've got this starting to, stack type. But then over here you have this word awareness, or sending a message is so small that actually the F in your drop cap is bigger than your headline. So that's odd. Okay. I noticed this is kind of odd because the top of the top of the quotation is set, the bottom of the quotation is set way above the cap height, but the bottom of this quotation is set just below the baseline. So that needs to come down to equalize this. Otherwise, you've got this whole space right here that throws this whole thing off. Okay, you see how that's parallel with this, and this is not on the same line as that. Okay. Yeah, I know, technical talk, right? That's parallel with this, and this is not the right with that. Okay. Good. Okay, this page right here is an issue, I think. I think this problem's kind of, this page presents a little bit of an issue, and because I'm going to tell you why. First, we got this thing, then we got that big jump over there against that proximity. Then we've got this headline here that's being overpowered by this. So the I automatically goes over here, but Victor or who died and made you boss. I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense. At any rate, this is really weird that the headline's here, then this is here, then you have this. So basically the I is going like this. It's going like this. Okay, by the time the I is right here, the next thing the I is going to go to is what? You guessed it, the image. So what you're doing is you're guiding the I to go like this. Start here, go like this, come down here, shoot straight across to the image. By the time you're at the image, you've already spent a couple of seconds on this page. You're like, I'm going to move on. I'm afraid that this page is going to get skipped right over your text, only because of this composition right here that's leading to like this exit strategy there. So I would rethink that composition. All right, other than that, I think good stuff. Did you, or are you, or what's going on with printing and shooting? We don't have much time, so if you please look at those videos, and you'll learn how to impose your pages and set up booklet, print booklet, take it to Kinko's, print it out, trim it, assemble it, and shoot it, and you've got a portfolio piece. Let me know. I mean, we're running. Well, we got a minute yet. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Okay, thanks.